This crazy phone. It won't let me do what I want to do anymore. I'll give you guys a few minutes because I'm not totally set up, but I gotta get things done. Life lately has been chaotic. Even though today is not as chaotic as before. And I forgot to set up a charger in here. Hey, anime. Or Amy. I keep on saying anime, but it's because my brain is malfunctioning. That's the best way I can put it. But yeah, I am. What the heck? Come on. Of course, it's nice to see you again. I was just doing helping out with Jerry's or with Jerry. We did a live together a little while ago. Of course, that was before breakfast, and now I had to eat something. So it's kind of like one of those like grab a quick bite to eat. For me and Jerry, Mom wasn't in. Mom's food intake is usually like one big meal a day, and she's satisfied. Hello, Tina. I hope I said that right. I'm gonna apologize to anybody who shows up and I try to pronounce their name because, like I said, my mental status right now is kind of like, huh? And that's mostly because I have not been feeling well lately. I mean, I think I've got either it's my annual yearly sinuses on steroids, or I'm catching a bug, or something along that lines, and I'm doing everything I can to try to take care of it. And the problem is when you don't get enough rest. I mean, you can have all kinds of physical rest, but your mind, if it does not have enough rest, it's going to malfunction. And the other day I was having some really bad sinuses. Today is not that much better, but at least they're a little bit under control. But I'm starting to get like that sinus headache you get up here above your eyes or behind your eyes, because that's part of your sinus cavity. So yeah, but Oreo is still at a play date. Basically, it was an overnight deal, so we can get some rest and maybe things can calm down without the over-energized canine problem. Hey, Pam. Jim, how do you feel when Jerry keeps talking about your disabilities, which seems like she is downgrading? Well, Pam, the issue is not her talking about my issues or my health problems or anything like that. Oop. Oh, come on, Jim. What'd you do? Anyhow, comments disappeared. Why did they disappear? But I'm not exactly happy sometimes. There are times where I can understand, what she's doing. There are other times where it's just kind of like, why are we talking about it? Most everybody either does not need to know my issues or already know my issues because I talk about them. So there are times where I'm just kind of like, yeah, let her talk about whatever. Today was kind of like one of those days where I was just kind of like not really there. So yeah. Well, Pam, as you probably know from reading or watching her channel, that she thinks she's a teacher. Well, yeah, she's a teacher in certain areas. She's really good at her arts and crafts and whatnot. And yeah, I can see her teaching people about that. But when it comes to like certain things, I've already discovered I know more than she does about nature, Native Americans, history, um, you know, a lot of the different things that she's never really gotten into until I came around. And then she wants to try to like talk about how she knows, and I'm sitting there going, no, no. If it wasn't for me, she wouldn't know. But it's not that I want my personal problems out in the open. It's more like one of those things where it's like if I can find somebody who can help me with my psychological issues or my learning issues or things like that, which I've learned how to deal with on my own since, well, junior high. I know what I'm good at. I don't try to push my boundaries because then it messes my head up. Um, I know I need a lot more help than most people can give me because the type of help I need, there is no professional out there for me. Hi, Simone. So you know, I'm doing what I'm doing to survive, basically. But I know, Pam, you told me about how cold it is out in Colorado and how expensive it is in the areas that you visited. That's fine and dandy. But when there's a part of you, and this is not 100% Jan's idea. We tried to find places that we can move to that wasn't that expensive, that were close to cancer facilities. And all but Colorado was like Minnesota would have been too cold for mom. The Carolinas would have been too humid for mom and me. Arizona is too warm for mom and me and Jerry. And so it was, a draw between Santa Fe, New Mexico, and the southwestern part of Colorado. And I've been wanting to move to Colorado since I was, I don't know, 18, 19 years of age. Because I don't know why. The one time mom and I visited an area of Colorado called Paradise Valley, which strangely enough was the name of my high school. Something about Colorado clicked with me. Now, from what I remember, Paradise Valley was north central. I think, if I remember right, north central Colorado, mid Colorado thereabouts. The only thing that mom and I found was a little unexpected, but we didn't go up there. We thought it was going to be summertime, and we didn't bring warmer clothing, and it was cold in the mornings. But well, Pam, when we went up and visited back in July, the same feelings came about. I mean, everything clicked with me. The just I don't even know how to explain it really, but it was I'd have to say it was not even beyond spiritual. It was just like home. Everything felt right, but yeah, that was yeah. I don't know. But anyhow, I'm sorry, Pam. I'm not changing my mind. Colorado just feels right. I don't know how to explain it. At least not in terms that most people would understand. But anyhow, let's see here. I was thinking the same thing about Jerry Ann and how she kept talking about your disabilities. Yeah, well, a lot of my disabilities have to do with just, I mean, yes, I have physical disabilities now. I grew up with psychological and educational disabilities, but I don't see them as yeah. I see my physical problems as a disability because it's making it harder for me to bend over, pick heavy things up. But as for my educational and psychological issues, well, my educational issues, I've had them all my life, and I know how to work around them, and I know how to use them and work with them and things like that. But the psychological issues, they started back in my mid to late teens because of loss of family members and just being an only child and not having siblings to help me through it. My mom, I love her to death, but she was not prepared to deal with a hyperactive teenage boy who needed a man in his life to to help him out. But unfortunately, she chose wrongly in the man to bring into the house after a couple of years after my dad died. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. One, hold on a second. I don't know what that was, but it was stuck in my teeth. Um, One, I'm sorry. My dad was the last person that put any fear in me, and I wasn't going to let some stranger try to, put me down or make me afraid of him and basically let him control my house. No. Not that I was trying to control my house, but I just didn't need some foreign asshole, excuse my language, coming into my house when I'm still not even over my grief of loss. And it took me I'm gonna say 10 to 15 years for me to get to that point where it's like, okay, enough grieving. Pick your ass up, get on with your life, find something interesting to do, find something you're somehow connected to, and deal. And granted, I still had issues in one form or another dealing with people trying to. I don't like authority. I don't like authority figures. I don't like anybody who thinks they can basically control me. Unfortunately, when I got married, I was hoping that there would be no, who's controlling who. I thought it would be more of a 50-50 ordeal. And there are times where I feel like I'm just here to basically work my ass off. And there are times where I feel like there's no connection, no intimacy, no, and I don't mean intimacy as in what happens behind closed doors. I mean, we got the dog, and granted, I told Jerry I would love to have a dog, but I also told Jerry in the same conversation, at this point in time, we cannot afford a dog financially, physically, or psychologically. I mean, I told her the major reasons why I wasn't going out looking for a dog. So it's kind of like one of those, like, okay, so now I have another burden for me to take care of, and I can barely take care of what I'm already taking care of. So it's kind of like one of those, you know. And not that I was trying to, tell her, get rid of the dog, because I'm sorry, once I'm like my dad. Once a person or animal or whatever is invited into my home or becomes part of my home, and that's my extended family, I will do whatever I can to make them happy. Unfortunately, I can't. afford the financial aspect, but I can do as much as I can to help them out if I can. Um, hold on, I think you do pretty well. Just don't let her get to you. I'm trying not to. My therapist has given me a lot of tools to work with to keep you know to keep from going overboard and getting messed up or mad. Ah, damn, I wish I had a charger in here. My tablet might die before the conversation does. Let's see here. Um, oh, okay. I've been all, I think if you feel that way, go for it with or without Jerry Ann. Well, right now with all the things that are going on, Mom and I could not even afford it. You I wish I could because if I could afford to get a studio, for less than $1,000 or for less than hopefully around 500, I would do that and get a try to get a job where I'm not lifting or doing any more damage to my back. Security work, I've done that. Bagger at a shopping center, I've done that. But anything like fast food or deli or anything like that where they get heavy duty payloads of product, that would be a no go for me because I couldn't lift it. So it's one of those things I've thought about. Simone, if a person continues to tell a person they have problems, you start believing it. Don't let her talk you into that way. Well, Simone, she's not telling me stuff that I don't already know. The thing is, one of the reasons why I haven't gone off to get disability or anything like that is because, you know, most of the disability I have physically is muscular with a couple vertebrae problems or disc problems between vertebrae and my lower back and my right shoulder. And I know it's muscular because it flares up during cold seasons or high barometric pressures, high humidity. That's why I want to move to Colorado because they've got low humidity, except for during rainstorms or storms. So it's it's not that she's saying stuff to make me feel like small. It's she's telling about my disabilities that are factual. They are things that I have to live with day to day, and it's one of those like okay, we all understand that Jim has his physical and psychological and sometimes spiritual issues, but I'm not a small guy. I'm not broken down into pieces. I just you know I have to work with things day to day, and sometimes when I can't wake up right, or she's starting to bark, I wouldn't say bark, but she's starting to talk about what she wants to get done during the daytime, or what to do, and we got to do this and we got to do that, things that yeah I might have forgotten. But the thing is, and I've tried in 24 years. I've tried to say I am not a morning person. When I wake up, don't go telling me what you want to do. Don't go telling me tasks that we need to get done. Let me wake the heck up before you start talking to me. She hasn't learned that yet. And it kind of gets frustrating because I'm like, and it's like, but anyhow, hey, I was catching up. You are still moving. I wonder if you should get disability since Jan said you can't really take care of her. Therefore, you couldn't get paid. Well, that's the thing is in the state of Missouri, there is no programs for paying a spouse to take care of the other person. Colorado has that, but the thing is if my abilities to take care of her, let alone myself, gets worse as my back starts to deteriorate and does not get the proper diagnosis, yeah, I might have to get disability. And when we get to Colorado, we might need a professional caretaker to come in and take care of both of us. I'm not even looking at the financial aspect of how much more money we can get into our lives or our living condition because of disability. I'm thinking more along the lines of, if I can't take care of my wife, who's going to? You know, that's the way my brain is. Um, but yeah, so it's one of those things. It was like, if I go on disability, now if I go on to disability or get disability, um, one, they're going to look into the house and see. Um, I did put this on backwards. See what kind of care I need. I mean, I think the only thing I really need is the SSDI, and to get into a program or something that my insurance will cover for physical therapy and proper treatment of my back. And once my back is dealt with, I can probably, do all kinds of things, whether it's around the house, whether it's out of the house, part-time job, something where it's just all I have to do is sit there and stand at the register and take care of customers. You know, the lifting and carrying and that kind of stuff will be a no-go because of my back. Let's see here. Else, Ashley. Sorry, Jim, but Jan is just rude to you. Um, well, Ashley, I appreciate your opinion. Yeah, there are times where I just feel like, why am I in the camera, or why am I even trying to help her with comments? Excuse me. Just because, you know, I'm I'm realizing what Jerry Ann does and how she acts and talks to me, and I'll be honest with you. There are times where we get into arguments, and I will literally pull the proverbial truth rabbit out of the hat, and she'll shut up, or she'll be like, "Oh, it didn't hurt." I'm like, that's the truth. I'm sorry if it hurt, but I'm not gonna. I'm done tiptoeing around the tulips or trying to walk on eggshells. No, no. Like I said, this morning, I've got to the point where I'm like my father, and I'm pretty sure Pam can answer this one as well. Most Hensons are blunt and to the point. They don't sugarcoat jack. They don't tiptoe around the tulips. They don't hide behind the bush. They just like, bam, there it is. If you don't like the tough shit, I'm getting to that point where that's what I'm doing now, because I have no more filters. My nerves have been frayed to the beyond breaking point. In fact, a bunch of them have broken. I am tired of basically sitting back while she, acts like she can demand, or what, however you want to put it, things that I need to do, when my brain is already like, okay, I want to do this, this, and this to clean up my house, but then Jerry wants me to do this, this, and this. It has nothing to do with the house. Now I can understand that. Yeah, I got to run out and pick up meds. I got to run out and pick up groceries. But being a chauffeur to other people, or going to just going out unnecessarily to do stuff just because she wants it done that way, I'm sorry. No, I can't do that no more. Between my body and my brain wanting to do other things, and then I'm being told to do something totally different that's not even on my agenda for the day. It's like, okay, all right, yeah, I can throw some extra stuff to do, as long as it's not gonna be hurting my back. So I'm just, yeah. Pam, I'm not gonna read your comment, but I do agree with you. She can be, if people don't agree with her, it's they either a she's gonna find a way to change their mind about it, or she's gonna pout. One of her nicknames from her childhood that her sisters told me about was Baby Snow. And I'm like, yeah. I know how some people sometimes when you're called a certain name or whatnot, you take on that persona. That's why when I found out after my dad retired from the military that the military diagnosis of me being slow or unable to do certain things, and I found that I could, and basically, proved to myself and any of those others who were following the military's an analysis to, oh my God, he can do it. Wow, we're eating crow tonight. But yeah. Um, Mary, I don't know if you're talking to me or Jerry, because you said Jerry, and I'm like, Jerry's not in this room. Um, and if you're talking to Jerry, Jerry could not keep track of their agenda. She'd want to put in her 2 cents worth instead of keeping to script. As for me, the only reason why I couldn't do radio is my hyperactivity plus my the way my brain works will get a lot of words wrong. So yeah. Have I thought of moving to Idaho? Well, I have thought about Idaho a lot because, granted, there's only about 2% of Idaho in the Yellowstone region, and that area closes down every winter because of snow. Because I could easily work in West Yellowstone, which is a nice little tourist town, but no, I haven't really thought about moving to Idaho. I mean, it just I don't know. Something about I don't know. There's a lot of states that I thought about moving to, but Idaho was never one of them. Just Heather, hello. Yes, Jim, you have to stand. Yeah, I try, but then she gets all wants to turn the tables like all you want is to talk about yourself. All you want is yourself. All you think about is yourself. Blah blah. And I'm like, if I thought about just myself and wanted to talk about just myself, um, well, yeah, I would. But why do I need to talk about myself? There's so many other things that need to be dealt with, and I'm just a small portion of all that. But I just, the way she turns tables sometimes, sometimes I just get so baffled where I'm just like, no, I need to just get up and walk away from the conversation because it's causing too many issues. Well, from what her sisters have told me is when she was born, and at the time she was considered the last child in the family, her hair was snow white, and she was the baby of the family. Other than that, I have no idea what they meant by it. Actually, one of her sisters did mention because she was a bratty child, so I don't know. She can handle getting off the couch. It does take a lot out of her. I can tell you that much, and I do offer her help. Um, I I know there are days where she's really tired and really sore that she goes into bed at like 6, sometimes earlier, sometimes later, but around the 6 o'clock point, and she goes in there and lays on in the bed, but she's trying to do everything she can to be not bedbound, and I keep on telling her she needs to do more physical, type stuff to build up her strength and stamina. But she's got this whole like the doctor said thing, and I'm like, yeah, the doctor said a lot of stuff that you never listen to. But excuse me, I just I'm not a pusher. If she doesn't want to do it, I'm not going to push her to do it because these are choices that she has to make. I cannot make them for her. I can try to encourage her, but a lot of times when I try to encourage her, it literally seems like it goes in one ear and out the other ear. I'm not positive about it. I just kind of I let things go because like I'm not gonna sit there and argue with somebody about what she should be doing, even though the doctor said this and her body hurts and da 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 da. And I'm like, fine, all right, I'm not gonna push. Oh, well, that whole thing about hooking up with Latino men was when she was younger. Yeah, I was not exactly happy about it, but I can't control what she says, so it's just I gotta let it go in one ear and out the other because it's like, yeah, that's from the past. That's not now, so I ain't worried about it. Oh, you mentioned I should go on as a radio person or something like that. Well, I'll be honest with you. I tried that. I went to our local radio station and tried to apply because they said they were looking for people, but what they didn't say was they were looking for people to do like cleanup and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I at that time I was like, no, because I'm not. I hate cleaning up after other people. I really do. I get mad when I walk around my house and I'm picking up after other people than whom live here. It's really like no, no. Hello, Becky. Marguerite, hello. How you doing? Let's see here. Thanks, Pam. I skipped over that amen. Excuse me. This is my yearly problem: is sinus issues then that causes bronchial issues, which causes me to have stuffy nose and dry coughs and all that fun yucky stuff. Um, do I take her dinner to her in bed? No. Jerry has been staying up in what she feels like eating because the chemo causes all kinds of throat issues. She eats in the living room basically. But I do bring her food, but not in our bedroom because I told her this not too long ago. I can't remember how long ago that I don't want food. I don't want anybody eating in bed. If you want to eat in a bedroom, that's fine and dandy, but not in bed. You know, which I have to say I broke that rule once or twice. But the thing was, I wasn't in bed. I was sitting like on the very edge. So if I did have anything crumb up, it would go straight to the floor, which the dog would be like all over. Let's see here. Us Henson people are very tough and don't take shit from anyone. That's pretty much true. Um, After Dad died, I was in that weird headspace, and I was just kind of like, you really want to start something with me? Because one, the only reason why I had it at the time to survive or to live was my mom, but that was difficult as is. So I was ready to die back then. I lost my fear of death. Um, I lost my fear of what people you know like or don't like. I say what I have to say, and I say it the way I say it. And if you don't like it, well, you can either bugger off or take it with a grain of salt. And it's just that's who I am now. Uh, let's see here. Does she feel she takes advantage of her doctor telling her to listen to her body? Yes and no. The reason why I say yes and no is because I know that before this new situation happened with the new chemo and all that, um, just by seeing the X-rays and seeing all the surgical work that they did for on her, I understand some of her pains, but this new pain that I don't know if she's talked to the doctor about or what, but I know the doctor had her go for X-rays, Now, far as I'm concerned, with a lot of modern day issues with muscular pain that the X-rays do not see, and that's why MRIs are the best way to go when you have chronic back pain or chronic pains in one form or another, because it could be mostly muscular, and that muscular could be like you could have Spigelian hernia, which is a small tear in the muscle. You could have severe, like, muscle pulling away from bone. Um, like they said it was, but they didn't get a full diagnosis when I was in basic training. And no, I did not get through basic training because I ended up developing what they called shin splints, and basically that's the muscle tearing away from the bone of the shin region. So that's why I can't do the military. That's why I can't do long distance running. That's why I have ankle and lower leg problems because of the shin splints. Jim stays tough. I'm trying to. I really am. But she listened to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Do what your body will allow you." And then all of a sudden, these pains came up. Now, I don't know if those pains came up because she um, tried to do too much the first day after the doctor's appointment or what. I don't know. Simone's girl. How can Sally afford to pay for all this plumbing? Well, my mom is smart with money. She had a lot of money tucked away for emergencies, visiting family, things of that nature. And the insurance will take care of half of what's going on while we're paying out of pocket for the other half, the actual plumber. We don't know if Third Pro, I think that's the company, they came in and they basically gutted the bathroom and put all those fans in to dry up all the water and basically dehumidify our bedroom, our bathroom, not bedroom. So we don't know who's doing what to who after this. We don't know if Serpro is coming in to rebuild our bathroom, or if we have to get a separate contractor that the insurance will advise us of. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Heather, maybe you need, and I have an inhaler. I usually take it when it's at work, at my worst point in time where I'm like coughing nonstop, which usually is right before bed. Um, so yeah, I've got all the stuff that I need for my bronchial and allergy problems. Sounds like a good plan. Okay. Focus on what makes you happy. Well, actually, I've been trying to. I mean, my office is pretty much done, so I can come in here when I want to or feel I need to meditate, to read, to think about things that need to be done around the house and plan that out. This is basically my sanctuary. Um, the thing is, Jerry, when I don't tell Jerry I'm coming in here for whatever reason or give her a reason, she will call me like, "Where are you? Why didn't you tell me what?" She does that kind of stuff, and I'm like, "I'm in the same house. The van is in the carport. Mom can see it from her seat in the living room. Why are you worried about what I'm doing? I'm not doing anything crazy or stupid. I'm just relaxing, trying to be myself and get my calm and focus on being able to not go nuts." I right now, because Jerry is not eating a lot. Well, she eats, but she's not eating a lot of food because if it's too coarse, too hard, or too grainy, something like that, it irritates her throat. So I've been trying to focus on meals for me and mom. The difficult part with that is mom can be very picky, and she does not like eating leftovers. Like if we have good leftovers, oh, that's what we can have tomorrow. Okay, if we have good leftovers and she likes them, she'll eat them the next day. But that's it. Rarely does she eat leftovers more than once, and usually it has to be something that she really likes. And I just realized what I'm going to have for tomorrow, or we're going to have for tomorrow. Boyben chicken. Let's see here. Some more. Yes, I agree, Pam. Jim, you should worry about you and your mother. Jim, you are able to leave the house and spend time just yourself. Yeah, I know, but Jerry's gonna want to know where I'm going. She's gonna want to know my destination and all that. I'm like, unless I'm going out to pick up something, I have no real destination. I'm just trying to get out of the house to drive around. But you know, she has complained about my Oreo's a great dog. I mean, I love Oreo to death, even though sometimes she can be a really annoying pain in the little butt. But she has a habit of jumping on Jerry first thing in the morning because she's happy to see everybody out and about, and she just wants the love and attention and all that fun stuff. But she does let the dog jump on her. Um, the dog has a weird knack for landing just right on Jerry's boob. Um, but she also, sometimes when Oreo is standing with her front paws on Jerry Ann's leg, she will put the bulk of her pressure on her back instead of trying to push down on Jerry. So Oreo's gotten to the point where if you just direct her in the right direction and try to keep her from jumping all over the place, she's a good dog. She doesn't jump all over Jerry Ann or myself. Um, so we've tried everything from putting pillows or blankets over Jerry Ann's legs or body, especially in the tender sides. But Oreo, she pushes those pillows out of the way. Um, you know, Oreo. The thing is, Oreo would be a lot more disciplined, a lot more listening if Jerry would follow with me on how to command her, because Jerry Ann has to literally repeat the dog's name 5, 6 times before the dog realizes that she needs to pay attention. Me, it's once or twice, and the dog's like, "Oh, Dad spoke." It's weird. Maybe it's just a Henson mentality of I'm not going to take any more bullshit. You got to listen or you got to get a whooping. I know a lot of people don't like the idea of spanking a dog, but it's not like a hard, forceful spank. It's just a good enough tap to make her go, "Oh, okay." Um, but she's a good dog. Yeah, he has told me I need time to myself, and I try to get it. Sometimes I do it in the evening time, and I just sit and play on my play games on my computer. Sometimes I come in here and just relax and read or write because what I want to really do, and I need to find my extra notebooks, college rule notebooks, so I can start writing stories. Um, and with the way my life is right now, I got enough stories to put out there to maybe actually get published. I don't know. I'm not trying to. I just Um, well, that's the thing is when I first wake up, and Jerry's mind has already been going a mile a minute, or it just activates and starts going a mile a minute. Um, I want to sit out in the living room to have coffee with my wife. But the thing is, my wife forgets that I'm not awake enough to. And you can talk to me all you want, but it's going to be like, "Choom, boom." It's going to go in one ear and out the other ear because I'm not awake enough to function, let alone make coffee. Um, I mean, I can make the coffee because it's kind of like natural habit. But the thing is, um, my mind's not ready for conversation. My mind's not ready for intake of information of any kind, whether it's plans for the day or things that need to be done or whatever. I'm just kind of like, can I wake up? Can I become coherent enough to have a conversation? But she doesn't want to wait because sometimes it takes me a long time to wake up, to be coherent enough to handle a conversation. Where was I? Okay, just tell Jarian you're going out to get fresh air when you need. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right there, Heather. Um, Simone, you're right. He should just go out and yeah. Well, it's getting too cold for a walk, but I'll take a drive around I have a couple places I can take a drive to and sit back and just relax for a few minutes. Um, before I have to worry about anything else. And it's usually, it's a public place, so anybody can see what I'm doing. And it's usually not like extra noisy or loud, but it's quiet enough for me to be able to relax. There's a couple parks within minutes that I can go park and just relax. Jim, I highly encourage you to leave the house for a while every day. You're right there, Simone. I should get out of the house, for a few minutes every day. In fact, what time is it? In about 20 minutes, I'm going to get off this so I can run to the grocery store, pick up a couple items, go get my dog, come home, and then, yeah, see what happens after that. Oh, fudge. Nah, I can still do it. Sorry, my brain is like, you didn't pull out anything for dinner. What are you going to have for dinner? It's almost 4 o'clock. Okay. But you need breathing space for your own sanity. It would be healthy to have time out of the house. Yeah. Definitely would be healthy for me to take time out of the house. Since Jarianne doesn't eat much lately, it will save you money on grocery bill. You can act like you're in Colorado and just leave and go for a walk. Yeah. Yep. Oh, funny story. This is kind of funny. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, maybe I should check my database to see what kind of snake that was. We have a baby snake of some kind. It's gray with black stripes and whatnot. And I didn't think about it until just now. I'm like, oh, shoot. That could be a baby diamondback or some other poisonous snake. And babies of that size of the rattlesnake family, their rattles don't really work. They don't even have a rattle yet. And it's not until like their second or third shedding of their skin that they finally start getting a rattle. And what was funny was Jane's home health person took the dog for a walk, and she was starting to come back in the house, and she didn't get that close to the house. She ended up going through the laundry room door, and she was like, "There's a snake out there, did it?" And I'm like, "Oh, really?" And I stepped out. And I'm like, "Where?" I didn't see it at first until it started moving, and it went into a little hole or something like that. And I just kind of went, "That's just a baby. Why are people freaking out?" Well, the thing about baby rattlesnakes or any kind of baby snake that is venomous is their venom is stronger at a younger age. So getting bit by one of the babies that finally have their poison gland could be highly dangerous. So my brain was like, oh, you should look that up to make sure it's not a baby venomous snake of any kind, because it could be a rattlesnake, it could be a copperhead. No, not a copperhead. A water moccasin. No, water moccasins are usually black, but it does not look like any of the garden variety non-venomous like racers or can't remember what they're called, but they got a yellow stripe down their back and they're pretty quick. But I'm sorry. I went off into a rabbit hole. But Jerry is always calling the dog up on her, which, yeah, I know. Pam, I don't know what it is. She watches all these professionals on YouTube and whatnot on how to train their dog, but she has not really implemented anything herself. She wants me to do it, and I'm like, all right, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it the way I watched my dad raise dogs. We had dogs throughout my life. I mean, Arkansas, we had dogs. We had a dog in Arizona. We didn't have a dog in Germany. I think we had dogs in Tucson. My dad had a dog or two in the Philippine Islands, and he's raised dogs all his life basically. And to be honest with you, he raised me the same way he would raise a dog. You do something wrong, you get a smack. I know that sounds rude and harsh, but it's effective. It's very effective. So I don't condemn nor condole smacking your dog, even if you just roll up newspaper in front of its nose, or not a hard-handed hit, but just enough to get the dog's attention to realize, oh, I did something wrong. So I just, it doesn't make sense. I mean, Jerry's methodology for raising the dog doesn't make any sense. So the dog basically looks at me like, this is daddy. If daddy gets mad, I'm in trouble. But then she'll look at Jerry Ann and go, this is mama. I can do whatever I damn well want. She won't do anything except for yell my name. Or yell no. And unfortunately, her voice rings, when she starts raising her voice, it rings through the house, and it's an irritation. But anyhow, on the weekends, my husband and I sit at the table and drink our coffee together, but we try to just chill a while before we start talking and planning the day. You know what, Pam? That would be awesome, but Jerry has her own timeline and wants to start things ASAP, and it just, there are times where I just kind of don't know what to say or do. But it is what it is. Just like this. Jerry just sent me a message saying that the person who's taking care of our dog wants to cut the date short, and then I didn't see that message pop up. Then she said, hey, did you get my message? This is my thing, all right? I'm the one who has to take care of everything no matter what. So it's kind of like, now I gotta, cut my log short so I can go deal with the dog. If I go out, I'm not taking the dog everywhere I have to go out to, because I got to go get stuff from the grocery store, and then I just don't want to deal with that. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is I might go ahead, and if I'm not getting any cold or frozen goods, I might just go ahead and go get the dog, bring the dog back, tell Jerry to send me a text of what we need from the grocery store, and I'll go do that at my leisure, because I am I'm just tired of oh man, there's so many messages that I've forgotten. I'm sorry, folks, that I didn't see all your messages. But so I understand what you guys are saying. Um, Unfortunately, mom does not have any friends that live here in Missouri. Um, Her last friend that lived here in Missouri lived in the same town, passed away several years ago. So, um, ooh, yeah. Did you hear it, or did you just happen to notice it under your feet, Pam? But all right, all right, all right. I'm God. I hate doing this. I really want to keep on here for a while, but I gotta be Mr. Do It All and cut corners, and I don't mean cut corners legally, but cut corners of what I want to do. Um, so I'm gonna actually have to get off this because things, you know. Well, that's what I'm hoping to there about her weight. But last time she was on chemo, she did drop significantly. But then then of course, she gained it back quite quickly. Well, I shouldn't say quickly, but she gained some of it back, which, um, oh, I understand, Simone. It's not. There's a lot of things that aren't fair to me, but I mean, what can I do? You know, I can't get her to do the right thing. I can't get her to do, well, at least what I think is the right thing. Um, I'm just at a loss. You know, that's why a lot of times I just sit back and go, whatever. You know, yeah, I'll try to remember to get her whatever she wanted when I get up to get what I need or want. Um, or not Rolla, but Missouri does have its variety of snakes. Um, we have, well, I know we have copperheads and diamondbacks and water moccasins. And then we've got our variety of non venomous or non lethal snakes. No, she's not very good at discipline. Um, in fact, the way I feel lately about the dog is that she left the dog in my hands, but then she'll gripe about how I discipline the dog, which is kind of like, you don't want to discipline the dog. You have problems disciplining the dog. And the way you do it by yelling her name and telling her no ain't going to mean jack to the dog because dogs don't understand human speech. They understand action. They are, most domesticated animals are a act and react type animal. They might understand the inflections of your tone and whatnot, but they're not going to understand the words. And if you don't use some sort of action to get them to stop doing what they're doing that you don't want them to do, why even have the dog? Why even have the animal, the pet? Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, unless you've got like, dogs are the one animal out of all the domesticated animals that you can have in your house that I love them to pieces, but if they don't want to, if they're not going to listen or they're going to be difficult disciplining, I didn't want the dog in the first place. I would rather have another cat or a parakeet, you know, or something that does not need a lot of human interaction. Not because of the fact they're pretty much disciplined and can do their own thing, but I mean, most pets, except for dogs, as long as you feed them, water them, give them a place to to lay down, they're pretty happy. You know, not very many other animals will complain. A dog, no, a dog is rambunctious. It jumps around too much. It might look like it doesn't weigh nothing, but it's pure muscle, so it weighs a lot. Um, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Pam. I really do. But I didn't want a dog for a multiple reasons. But yeah, you're right about that, Mary. Um, she would she wouldn't counsel the counselor. She would have the counselor thinking nothing's wrong with her, that it's obviously me. Um, yeah. Um, I tell you what, Pam, if my house was not in such disarray, and I actually had a spare guest room, I would invite you down here just for me, just to see what would happen between you and Jerry. And I don't know. I'd probably get a good laugh out of it, but I don't want to do that because of mom's sake, unless I can get mom out of the house and visiting Aunt Lee or somebody or her brother up in Ohio, which this time of year no, because it's too cold and snowy. But anyhow, I have to get off so I can do the dog thing. Well, here's the thing, Simone. She asked me because she knew I wanted a dog. I've been wanting a dog for a while. I just knew that when she asked me, I was like, one, and I told her this, one, I don't think we can do it because we're not financially set for having a dog. We're not physically capable of taking care of a dog. And I just right now, because the way things are, I don't want to get a dog, you know. But all she heard was I want a dog. She didn't hear the rest of it, you know. So that's her selective hearing. But anyhow, I got to do what I'm doing. I got to go do what I have to do. Hopefully, I keep on saying this, and I'm not guaranteeing it anymore because of the way things have been. Hopefully, I will be doing vlogs on a regular basis. I just don't know if I'm going to do them in the morning or at the end of the day, because the end of the day might be filled with so many different stressors or whatnot that I might say the wrong thing or get somebody upset. And, well, I don't know why I'm worried about that. So we'll see. And until next time, you guys enjoy. Hopefully, I will do my vlogs on regular. So, you guys have a good night. Enjoy. Bye. Oh, I didn't turn this off.